So good afternoon, Madam Chair and members. I'm here today to present SEA 12 on behalf of Senator Runner and myself. I'm a joint author, although she was taking the lead on this. It's a constitutional amendment which addresses the admission practices of the University of California. If approved by the voters, the measure would reiterate that the primary purpose and obligation of the University of California is to serve the students of California. The entire University of California system is based on the notion and promise to California students first. In recent years, we've seen that promise fading. As you know, the University of California is a public trust administered by a Board of Regents which is independent and free from legislative constraints in their oversight of the operations of the 9 undergraduate UC campuses. The board, however, has a fiduciary obligation to act in the best interest of California students and accordingly must answer to the public. While University of California admission websites proclaim that, quote, as a public institution, we prioritize admission of California residents, end quotes, doubts have been expressed by the public and the press, and most recently by the California State Auditor. Last month, the California State Auditor published a report titled, UC, its admission and financial decisions have disadvantaged California students. The report concludes that the University of California has in fact failed to give California students priority, opting instead to pursue higher tuition paid by out-of-state and international students. Several UC campuses, non-residents are granted admission at a dramatically higher rate than California students. These first two charts, which are in your packets as well, there should be, demonstrate the behavior. Please take a moment to note what's happening in the top colleges in other states. You'll see that they admit their state's students first. Between 2010 and 2015, the system-wide number of California undergraduates has declined, while the number of non-resident undergraduates has surged by more than 20,000 students. The non-resident fees paid by these students provide the University of California almost $500 million. That's $500 million in additional revenue each year. But I believe having students from other states and countries is healthy. I've always said education is one of our best exports, but it shouldn't be at the expense of our own resident students, and that is concerning. Increasingly, California students and parents share the perception that seats at the University of California are being sold to the highest bidder, that California students are being passed over for less qualified non-residents who are willing to pay more. The chart dealing with GPAs tells that story. There is clear disparity when you see that out-of-state students are gaining admission with lower standards than California students. California students and their families are entitled to further assurances that their applications are processed fairly and that non-residents do not gain an admission advantage because they are willing to pay an additional $100,000 over 4 years. Public confidence can be restored with greater transparency and accountability regarding non-resident admission rates and qualifications with this constitutional amendment. This amendment is an important reminder as to UC's obligation to the taxpayer and our state's students. Our students and parents deserve better. Let's support them by ensuring our institutions, which were designed to serve them, are obligated to California students first.